When is Captain Marvel being released in the UK?
Apparently the 8th of March, but it might have a sooner one. This is a great game.
What did you find out about Paige?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I keep
this be the new podcast.
I've literally I constantly log out and onto my own Google, but for some reason my Safari keeps, every time I go onto it, knocking me back onto Michael's.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah.
Speaking of knocking back onto Michael, should we podcast?
Yes. What a lovely mental image.
Welcome to episode 32 of FRUK Unwrapped, where we give you a little bit of everything, and you're always welcome to come back up for more. I'm Nathan Peterson, and with me are a couple of dipheads. First, we have a man who loves a buffet, but hates crudités. He's got nothing against raw vegetables, it's just that people won't let him swap his hummus for gravy. It's Stuart Bullock.
Oh, northern stereotypes.
Yeah.
AKA racism. What's that thing called where
Northerners.
Northerners come down south and take over a town?
Is it Hollygog?
Hollygog, isn't it?
Yeah. References to things that we talked about before we started recording. In jokes. Private jokes, if you will.
This is almost dead air, really, isn't it? I know we're talking, but
it means nothing to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing, Stuart?
I'm all right, mate. I've got a bit of a cold, but I'm sure I'll be over it in the new year.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope that it's not one of the ones that lingers for many, many weeks.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
And secondly is a man who has been thrown out of every party he has attended. You'd think by now he would understand what finger food meant. It's Michael Jamieson.
Oh, I think that's unfair, Nate. Those claims are unfounded.
Well, it doesn't mean they're not true.
No, they're unfounded. Unfounded. I can assure you, my fingers are not that small.
How are you doing, Michael?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Cruel sort of implications aside.
Well, that you finger food.
Yeah, it's just a bit rude. Suggest I already don't get invited to many parties, and suggesting I get thrown out of all of them sort of brings down my overall time per party ratio, doesn't it? So.
Your time per party.
Yeah.
Have you got a spreadsheet for that?
Look, mate, I've got a Google sheet, but let's not. Can we not?
No guest tonight. It's the OG3 for once. This is our penultimate show of the year, boys. It's been a hell of a year.
Wow.
Yeah. One more. The Christmas Crackers episode that we've been advertising for a few weeks. Just another reminder, if you have not yet submitted a question, which almost all of you have not, please do so to frukcast@gmail.com, and it will definitely be read out, but we will be putting something on social media in the coming days. Right, shall we do a bit of news?
Correct.
We should.
Correct.
Does anybody have news then?
Absolutely not. No, I do actually.
Go on then.
Oh, my turn. McVitie's, producers of popular biscuits and snacks, have announced a new addition to their Nibbles range, and it's in fact the first cake version. They're releasing Jaffa Cakes Nibbles. So it'll be a zesty orange centre and light sponge coated in a delicious milk and dark chocolate.
I'm all over that. That sounds delightful.
Yeah,
that sounds great, doesn't it? I think people are going to go mad for these.
Except the Americans, because apparently all Americans hate Jaffa cakes. We found out earlier this year. No, last year. Sorry. Yeah, I like that. I did see when I saw the post that you put up on FRUKgram. Go and follow us now. I was wondering whether it was cakey or whether it was biscuity, but they were just throwing the Jaffa cake name on it. But so it's definitely going to be definitely going to be sponge, is it?
Yeah, I'd perhaps foolishly assumed it would be biscuit myself as well, but I read the thing, and it's actually a sponge, which is brilliant news, because I can imagine them being just... I mean, I challenge anyone to get through that bag without consuming the entire thing.
To get through it without consuming.
Yeah, all right, come on. I realised what I said when I finished saying it. So,
Stuart, are you a fan of Jaffa cakes?
Do you know what? I like Jaffa cakes, but they're not something I ever have. But I'm always happy to be offered a Jaffa cake. I reckon I could eat quite a lot of Jaffa cakes. They're very, very light.
I recently started listening to a new podcast, and somebody said that there was a record of something like, I can't remember what it was like. It was like eating 100 Jaffa cakes in an hour or something like that. That's like the world record, and it sounds like really achievable. Like that's basically like 10 packets of Jaffa cakes.
You'd be vomiting after it, wouldn't you? But it sounds doable.
Yeah, what all I'm talking about is the quantity of it sounds very doable. But I'm sure the reality is that amount of sugar and that amount of sponge and orange gelatin would probably not.
How many Jaffa cakes in a packet? 10?
It must be something about that, yeah.
So,
I don't know if it's exactly 10.
I mean, I imagine I could get that first packet of Jaffa cakes down in about 2 minutes, and then each packet thereafter would probably double in time. So it would get tricky.
It would.
I think one box is so easy to get through. It's not even an issue. But what's this? 10 packs.
Yeah, 100 Jaffa cakes. We're guessing 10 boxes.
Yeah,
it's hard to get through a box without finishing all of them.
It is. I think you'd start hitting a citrus wall at around the 30 mark. I think.
You reckon? It's a citrus wall that'd be the problem.
It's the gel. Jelly.
Yeah.
The gel, not the amount of sugar rush.
Well, think of the sponge.
Think of the sponge. Just think of the sponge. Somebody please think of the sponge.
Nice.
We really got to start. Can we do right? Okay, project for 2019, and this is. I love how I'm just throwing this out there because it would mainly be Stuart's task. Food Review UK album. 10 songs based on phrases said, and I want one of them to be "Think of the Sponge."
Think of the sponge. Yeah, it's not happening.
Speaking of that, are we only days away from the full debut of Umbakabai?
Believe that's true.
Well, apart from the fact that it was kind of sneakily debuted off-piste on another of Michael's channels.
It was teased. A mere few seconds of it was teased elsewhere.
No, the entire video was teased. Was shared elsewhere. When Michael asked me to create a piece of music for Food Review UK, which he then selfishly aired in the middle of one of his other videos on his other channels.
But you know what's funny about
that? What?
Yeah, I forgot I did that, and I just assumed it would come out after the video. I totally forgot about that.
I mean,
it's
ruined it.
No, I'm not sure it has.
I think you find it has.
That wasn't the whole video.
It was. Yeah, it was the whole video.
Yeah, I seem to remember it might have been the whole one, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But the good news is it was on Life of Michael Jameson, and that is not a very popular one. So
I don't know why we're saying this. It's very popular because it's very, very good, and more people subscribe to it than FRUK. Actually, I don't know why we don't have a podcast called The Life of Michael Jameson Unwrapped. So
I don't think that is actually true, is it, Michael?
The Mind of Michael Jameson Unwrapped.
Oh Christ! you missed out the word
of
is.
Michael Jameson.
Oh.
Let's move on to another news item. Have you got anything, Stuart? Or,
I have, yeah. Beer news, unsurprisingly. So there's been some beer news this week. A very, very good beer that's brewed once a year. A brewery called Buxton Brewery, who, rather unsurprisingly, are from Buxton, who did a collaboration beer, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, with a Scandinavian brewery called Omnipollo. As part of something called the Rainbow Project, where brewers are invited.
Sorry.
brewers are invited to collaborate on beers that are inspired by a colour. And Buxton and Omnipollo were given the colour yellow and brewed a beer which is a peanut butter cookie imperial stout. It's delicious. It's called Yellow Belly. It often gets in the news or gets a lot of press because it has an anti-racism slogan printed on the bottle, but the bottle itself is wrapped in a white paper cowl, which makes it look like a KKK member. So it's quite arousing. That's not the word I mean, but yeah, we'll go with it. And they are having to stop brewing it. So they're currently, I think they've either just released or are just about to release the last ever incarnation of it, because Bateman's Brewery, who are from that down south area, down your end, have a beer called Yellow Belly, spelt differently, completely different beer, but they have basically issued a cease and desist, and it's been upheld. So Buxton and Omnipollo's fantastic beer, Yellow Belly, is going to stop being brewed so that Bateman's crappy, bog standard cask twig water Yellow Belly can continue to be brewed. Disgusting. Amazing beer being stopped by pathetic beer.
Have Buxton not watched Making a Murderer Season 2? They just need to do a counter claim.
In using some kind of reenactment by purchasing a replica car, swinging a hammer covered in blood, it's covered in pig's blood around by a woman of indeterminate age, because she's had so much plastic surgery that it's now impossible to tell whether she's 50 or 193. But he's still quite attractive either way.
You said it, mate, not me.
Well, you were thinking it though, weren't you?
Yeah, but I didn't say it.
Michael, what do you think about that? We obviously
watching it going.
I was going to tangent.
Would I?
What do you think there about the case of the name being Yellow Belly being sort of cease and desist because of their name? This is playing into a story that we've recently discussed, where you basically were on the side of Monster Energy.
Oh yeah. Sorry to just backtrack a minute. I do need to point out that the woman who I was saying I feel attractive is Stephen Avery's mother. I just need to make sure everyone understands that.
Obviously. Yeah, I just obviously need to clarify as well. I yelled out the word gay a few times then as well. That was just sort of like satire, because it was like about the rainbow and whatnot. I actually love the rainbow. I don't have a problem with gay people. I think it's absolutely fantastic to be who you are, be yourself. Everyone should love everyone. Hashtag equality for all. Hashtag me too. But no.
Also, I should point out that Stuart used the word arousing when discussing the KKK clothed beer, and I don't wish to put too many words in his mouth, but I assume that he didn't actually physically mean that he was aroused by the KKK. But you know, especially as he's wearing what appears to be a David Starr wrestling shirt.
Correct. Yeah.
Which that isn't the Star of David, though, weirdly. I thought the other one was. But,
well, no, it's the David Starr logo, which is like a parody of the Star of David, but is in fact his initials.
Right.
And it's pink.
Okay.
Yes.
It is pink.
Yeah.
Inclusive.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, there was this recent case, wasn't there, of, so basically this, as I understand it, this little kid, about 4 I think, he's built an oven as like a perfect replica of the Monster Energy logo, and he's putting pizzas on it or something. Hang on, I got a frog in my throat. Yeah, so he's putting pizzas on top of this thing, hoping they're going to cook or something. I don't know. Yeah, Monster Energy. As I read it, Monster Energy went up to him. They were like, Yeah, this is cool. We appreciate like your like doing your own projects and whatnot, and we think it's really cool. Just what is it for? And apparently, this little kid was really rude to them, told them to fuck off and whatnot. So they were like, "Well, okay, appreciate that." But like, if it was for a good cause, like maybe you had like an innocent pizza business or something like that, then we probably let you keep it. But because you were rude to us and you're just doing weird things with our logo, we're going to try and shut you down. That's as I understand it anyway. And I think it's called Monster, Monstah Pizza. It's in the Buckinghamshire area. It's like a good cause or something, I don't know.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So if any listeners out there who actually want to know what really happened, please check out Monster Energy versus Monster, Monsta Pizza, and find out the truth. It's a very sad state of affairs for this world. Anyway, let's move on for that. I do have one minor news item, which is that this will be particularly arousing for Stuart. Now, Stuart, do you ever go to Nando's?
Never been to Nando.
Would them selling a gravy get you in the door?
Do you want me to say yes, or do you want me to tell the truth?
I'd like you to say yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I thought it might be. They throughout December they are selling a chicken and herb gravy for £1.25 a jug to go with your chips. So,
wow,
gravy and chips, cheeky Nando time. I don't know.
Gravy and chips, cheeky Nando time.
Track number 2 on the Food Review UK album. My wife had her first Nando the other day. Nando's is. She said it was okay, but overpriced.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't have chicken. I believe she had some kind of mushroom
and halloumi wrap.
I think it was a burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she said it was okay. She said with some peri fries or something.
Yep.
Yeah. She said it was okay, but overpriced. I just don't see the point in paying for chicken when I can make chicken.
Oh, some of us can't make chicken.
Chicken's so easy to cook, though, isn't it?
It is, but I prefer to pay people to bring it to me. I've got sort of an ego like that, where I just feel like I need to pay people to do things for me.
Brilliant.
Laura is essentially staff. She's not my wife. She's not my wife. She's literally paid to be around for my every whim.
Brilliant. I'll make sure I put that on her Facebook wall as well when I'm telling her about her Christmas lights.
Please do. Please do. Any more news, or should we move on?
Let's move on. I'm still trying to think of the word that I meant that when I said aroused.
You're suggesting it elicits a reaction,
like provocative. I suppose provocative,
instigative.
Yeah, it provokes,
outrageous.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Provocative, I think, rather than arousal.
Yeah.
Arousing.
Not what you did say arousing.
I did say arousing.
We have to take your first answer.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, I find the KKK arousing. All right, you've caught me out.
Finally, that's what this whole podcast has been for. It's been an 18-month sting to get you to finally announce that you're a KKK enthusiast.
I've actually got a KKK anecdote.
Oh.
Is it an anecdote?
Yeah. It's actually you guys will actually be proud of me. It's actually an anecdote.
I know exactly the one you're already going to tell me.
Correct. So I once dressed as Moon Knight. If you don't know who he is, he's a Marvel character. Dresses up in like white. He's actually really cool. It's like he's got like schizophrenia or something like that. And it's just a cool character and it's good. Anyway, went to a gay bar dressed as Moon Knight, who, like I say, wears this white costume, including white hood. And as I was walking into the gay bar,
is it important that it is a gay bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
A black bouncer.
Is it important? Is the race of the bouncer important?
Sort of.
Okay.
He stopped because actually it would be very racist if he wasn't. He stopped. Oh yeah, because only white people can be racist. No, joking. This black bouncer stopped me, and he went, "What are you supposed to be?" And I was like, "Oh, Moon Knight or whatever." And he stopped me, grabbed my hood, and pulled it up into a point, and then he took a photo of me and said, "Yeah, go on in then."
God. Oh, hilarious! Yeah, I mean, hilarious.
It had an ending, at least, right?
Yeah. I think maybe it's just the way you tell him.
Yeah.
I read a bit of the Bible the other day. That was boring.
Sorry, what? I don't.
I literally flicked to a random page. It was towards the end, and it was literally talking about the Queen of Prostitutes. I'm not making this up. This is true. Isn't it weird how a Bible's in every hotel?
Right.
All right, carry on.
Right. I don't really know what's happening here. I don't really know what that relevance has to anything. Although I will admit it is weird that there's a Bible in every hotel, or at least the ones I've been in. I can't vouch for every hotel.
Is it not? Did the Gideons do the hotel Bibles? I think it is the Gideons, isn't it? They
used to. I don't know if they still do, but I know they used to.
Yeah.
I made sure I nicked them.
You got loads of them.
Yeah.
two four-car boot sales a year just selling Bibles.
Just rip out the last 20 pages; they'll never know how it ends.
There was a Scientology stall in Manchester City Centre on Saturday when I was there. Just next to the Christmas market, selling the Elron books.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Genuinely never seen anything Scientology in this country. Certainly not as openly Scientologist. Anyway,
they had a machine out on the stall. You know, one of the I believe there is a Scientology testing place in Manchester as well.
Basically, they're just a low, they're just a cheapened version of those things that you get in the arcade that tells you how passionate you are, aren't they?
Hot lips. I believe. Well, I think that was one of the things. That was one of the options on the Scientology stall. There was operating thetan level 2, and then above that it was hot stuff, and then above that it was sexy stud.
Great references.
I'm fascinated with Scientology, just to go on a tangent.
Oh,
it is an absolutely just bizarre thing this world has.
Yeah,
it's so strange. I was watching a video this week about Scientology. Actually, it was about how, Neopets. Neopets, soon after their conception, were basically bought out by Scientologists, and Scientologists owned Neopets for like 5 years. It's a really, really good video from a really good channel called People Make Games. It's all about the people, the human beings, and the human beings' stories behind making video games. A really lovely channel, very, very fascinating. I'd say even for people who aren't into games, give it a look. It's a really nice channel.
Oh wow! So I wasn't familiar with Neopets. So Neopets has been around for 19 years, and it still appears to be a going concern.
Sort of.
Crazy.
Is the Scientologist reason it's a concern?
No, they sold it back in like 2006 or something.
Well, Viacom bought it in 2005. Viacom. Not going to do.
Didn't even know they were still around.
You're not going to do a Viacom impression, MJ?
Viacom. Bo-da-bo-bo.
Wow, he went for the sound effects and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd never heard of Neopets, but that was your bi-weekly Scientology update. On to Quivia.
Wow. Oh God, we're doing the FRUK and Wrap podcast, aren't we?
Yeah. Not just ladding on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Not the life of Michael Jameson unwrapped.
The mind of Michael Jameson unfurled.
Oh, you wouldn't know this, Stuart, because apparently I didn't tell. Oh no, you did hear the other. Oh no, this was after the show. I'm going on so many tangents. So I'm going to be potentially on Food Unwrapped on Channel 4.
How come?
The Man v Fat Football thing that I do.
Oh wow!
They came down not this week, last week, and Jimmy Doherty was there.
Oh yeah,
and he was interviewing a couple of guys that have lost weight and everything. And I'm going to be in the background and potentially shots of me playing football.
And have you in some way sabotaged it?
Well, there is. I was telling Michael, there is a possibility that when I sort of walked out onto the pitch just for like the warm up before the game and everything, I sort of realised that I was in the background of them filming, and so I thought, shit, I shouldn't be here. I'm ruining their shot. So I sort of half turned around to sort of go back the other way, but then realised how stupid I was looking. So then turned around again, and so yeah, potentially in the back of somebody getting interviewed, there's going to be me just walking.
Woody Allen in around in the background, like some
basically,
kind of, yeah, great,
yeah. So that could be amusing if I'm in that.
Yeah, neurotic man fails to adequately warm up for five-a-side football match.
It just looks like that is my warm up, just by walking the same 5 yards left and right.
It's got to start somewhere, haven't you?
But yeah, so I will be appearing on FRUK Unwrapped and Food Unwrapped.
Wow.
You're probably the first person in history to have done that.
Probably.
I mean, I don't even know what Food Unwrapped is.
It's a Channel 4 BBC show. It's a Channel 4 show.
Starring that Jimmy Pigman, is it?
Jimmy Pigman and a couple of others. And yeah, it's all about food and shit.
Sounds rubbish. Who'd want to watch a TV program just about food and stuff?
Well, not TV program, but maybe internet videos and listening to them talk about in your ear podcast type things.
No, I can't imagine it.
But not TV, because we turned that down, didn't we, Michael?
Watch your space.
Okay. Watching.
Watch Channel 5 next year.
As if.
Okay. I mean, the guy can't even get a fucking Mars cake from somebody, let alone a TV girl belt.
If anyone wanted to put Food Review UK on the TV, as if Nathan Peterson wouldn't know about it. I can't read it because it's blurry. All I can see.
Wow.
That's an email from your sister. You're showing us an email from your sister. Right, I mean, you're still just holding your phone up to us.
Okay.
It means nothing to me.
Okay.
Well, I'm Joe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, after all of that massive tangent. Hi, Michael. It's great speaking to you. Thank you for coming over. Emma.
It's your sister.
Yeah. My sister and I converse to each other by saying it was great speaking to you yesterday.
Qivia. Right. I've got a brand new game for you boys. Brand new game.
Sweet.
This is a trial run for the next Quivia special, whenever that may be.
Wonderful.
Which will not feature Michael Jameson, no matter how much he tries.
I'm really not happy with that. How come you two both get to be in it?
Well, I'm the host.
Yeah, I'm a host.
You can do it then, mate, if you want to plan a whole fucking hour worth of game show.
Right. It'll be the same question, but...
Brilliant.
Do you like me?
It'll be an hour long. An hour long, right. You've ordered a Whopper, a fries, a chicken McNugget.
Question 2. What's it called when a bunch of northerners invade a southern... Again, in jokes. Right, this is a game called Alphabeti Spaghetti.
Oh.
Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia times a place of Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia times a place of Quivia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz and a such extent the portmanteau of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia times a place of Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yes, Quivia times a place of Quivia.
Basically, tonight's subject is about buffet food, party food, call it what you will. What I've done is I've got a list of 10, but we won't do all 10 because that would be horrendously long. I've got a list of 10 types of, your bog standard food items that you expect to see on a buffet table. What I've done now, I've been a cheeky little bastard and I've mixed up all the letters. And I'm going to ask you to tell me what it is. But I'm going to do it one letter at a time. The quicker you can get it, the more points you get.
Oh, mate, I like this idea. Right.
You're going to get different words, though. So I will be asking you for numbers so you can get different words. I will tell you that they range from 5 letters to 12 letters.
Jesus.
And it's a point for each letter that you get that you didn't have.
Right. Question.
You know what I'm saying.
Question.
Yeah.
Are they all one-word answers?
There are... I will not tell you when I give you the question, but there are in here 2 that are 2-word answers.
Okay. Yes.
But I will tell you how many points. I will tell you how many points going into the question.
Excellent.
You are playing.
Excellent.
So I will start with Michael first. Can you give me a number between 1 and 10? We'll be doing 3 each, by the way.
3, please.
Number 3. Okay, ready. There are 8 points on offer for you. First letter, W. You only get 1 guess, by the way. So if you want to wait. A. No.
And
time.
these are not in the right order.
It's an anagram, kind of.
Did you tell him how many points he had?
8. Yeah. So W A L L O
Marshmallow.
How many marshmallows do you see on a buffet table?
And also, it's got more than 8 letters.
So that's no points for Michael on that one. Stuart, please. 1 to 10, except for 3.
Okay, let's go for number 1.
Number 1, 6 points.
Yep.
C.
Yep.
H.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
E. Q.
Quiche.
Oh yeah, give him the easy one.
He chose number 1.
Yeah, but how? Show me it written down.
All right, I'll take a photo of it right now.
No, you don't have to do that. I believe you.
So Stuart got it with 3 points there.
Correct.
Michael Jameson.
That's right.
1 to 10, not 1 or 3. So 2
1.
to 10.
1, 2.
2.
I can't even get that right.
You want to go 2?
Yeah, that's right.
12 points on offer.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah.
S.
Yeah, that's right.
S.
Oh dear, Hitler.
G.
Yeah.
E.
I think I might know what it is.
U.
Sausage roll.
I will accept.
Will you?
It was sausage rolls.
I mean, we're accepting wrong answers, are we? Yeah.
Oh, that would be brilliant if you didn't accept that. It'd sort of be funnier if you didn't.
I'm tempted not to. Stuart.
How many points do I get?
8.
Decent.
Correct.
Number 5, please.
Number 5, 10. So you can get straight back in
Okay.
this, mate.
Okay, let's go.
Stuart, you should guess straight away as soon as you hear the first letter. I have confidence in you, man.
Right, I will do.
Just for that, I'll give you 1 free guess.
Vol-au-vent.
I didn't even give you a letter. Right, first letter.
I
E.
just spat water.
What,
on
E?
it.
E.
Vol-au-vents.
How's one of us just made me spit water over myself twice in a row? It's falling down my beard.
Technically, that's the same guess, so you can carry on.
Oh, is it not then?
brilliant.
Is it not
It's
Vol-au-vents?
not Volvo. It's
Oh.
not Volvo. No.
Do you know what? I'd already written down on my pad Vol-au-vents and counted how many letters, and as soon as you said 10, I went, this is it, it's Vol-au-vents. Sorry, what was my letter?
So E,
Yeah. Yeah.
H,
Yeah.
A, S.
Did you say H?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a H'er. I thought you knew the alphabet.
I,
do not know how to pronounce the letter H. Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
S. W. D.
D.
Mm-hmm. N.
Stop. I'm going to have a guess, aren't I? Because I've had 8 letters.
You've got 1 left.
Got 1 left.
Yeah.
I've only had 8.
There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've had 9.
Have I?
EHASISWDN.
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, that's 9. Oh, God. I've got here Y-HN.
It's not that.
I'm gonna forget more. I'm gonna forget more letters.
Oh, you said stop.
Oh no, hang on, no, SANDWIC. Sandwiches. Oh,
Correct.
what an idiot!
For 2 points.
Drag that out, isn't it?
Silly.
Michael Jameson, your final pick, please. You've basically got 6 to 10 or number 4.
Number 4, please.
Okie dokie. This is 8 points.
Oh.
That's right.
You
are an idiot.
I can't say H.
Yeah, that's correct.
E.
By gum.
T. C.
Pause. Continue.
S. R.
Right, pause. UIETCSR.
Sriracha.
Yeah, I should be able to get it from that, but I can't. Crass, cray, crouch, Chris. Carry on.
One more?
Yeah, one more.
D. That's your final one.
Okay. I'm just going to type out Descritu. So something close to that. Descritu. Critter. Oh, I've chord.
James Corden.
Okay, I'm gonna give me 15 seconds and then I have my cut off.
Cordelia. What was she called from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Charisma Carpenter's character.
Cordelia Chase.
Lola?
Yeah.
She was a mighty attractive woman. Still is.
Not a patch on Eliza Dushku.
No.
That is true, but
From
has Eliza Dushku starred in her very own 50 Shades of Grey rip-off softcore pornography film?
What? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Charisma Carpenter has.
Yes.
Right. And you've watched this, have you?
I've watched some of it.
I think it's going to...
Oh, dear.
Where did she put the steak? I find it funny too. I think the answer is very obvious, but I don't know it. So I think I'm going to kick myself, but I'm going to say scratted you.
Wow, you pulled that out of nowhere. The answer is crudité.
Oh, for God's sake!
Right.
You
So,
foolish
Stuart,
man.
your final question. You've got 6 to 10 to pick from. The current score is 8 to MJ, 5 to you, 4 and above you win, 3 you draw. Still haven't got a tiebreaker. Really should do something about that. Anything
Sorry,
less than
crotted you. What even is that?
crudité.
Yeah, what
Chopped up.
even is that?
Chopped up vegetables.
You probably pronounce it crudites, Michael. You know crudites.
Well, I pretty much got that written down, sort of.
Scrutiny or
It's
something.
in the
called
wrong
you.
order. No, that's really stupid. No one has that.
Stuart.
10, por favor.
10.
Si.
Is that what you asked for?
Si.
Stuart, did you get my one?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so last
Well,
one.
I'm not 80 like you guys, so of course I'm not gonna know this stupid fucking 1950s meal.
What chopped up vegetables?
Yeah. No one knows what a fucking knife is these days.
Stuart,
Yo.
10 points on offer here.
Correct. Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah.
I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Z.
Wait. Pizza bites.
I don't know whether to give this to you.
Pizza slice, I said.
No.
I said pizza slice.
Fuck that.
Still not what I have down here, I'm afraid. Which is mini pizzas.
Pizza bites. I said pizza bites. That's the same thing. That's what we call. That's what we call them in the north.
Oh, you can't play the northern card, my friend.
A pizza bite.
I'm afraid I'm willing to bend for sausage roll and sausage rolls because it's one letter off. But
It's wrong. Yeah.
I'm afraid I can't do it, my friend. It was a valiant effort.
Slightly unfair.
Well,
Bothered.
possibly, but for once, MJ, you benefit from the slightly unfair Quivia host. So
yeah, oh no, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Technicality.
yeah,
innit?
I thought you might be. Yeah, MJ wins 8 points to 5. Although Stuart may be due more points just because he's a top lad, but
And also, moral victory goes to me for.
yeah. But it's nice to know. But also, you're not fighting it. You know, if this was MJ, we'd hear 3 weeks of him bitching about how he was screwed out of it.
Actually, I just stuck up for Stuart because I thought he should have got mini pizza, like whatever he said.
Yeah, correct. But all right then. So I'll take that then. So 8 points to Stuart.
Thank you.
So I'll take it all back. Stuart Bullock wins with 13 points to MJ's 8. Thank you,
There we go.
Michael. Very, very kind of you.
2019, the year of the bull.
It's not 19 yet.
2018,
yeah.
the year of the bull. Oh, it's confused. Oh, I'm confused. Oh,
It's confusing. It was 2019 2 days ago, but today it's not. I don't know how that works.
You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please support us on Patreon so we can continue to make amazing content, including a recent video where we reviewed a £6 tub of ice cream. 6 quid. 6 quid. Has he lost the plot? Okay. And our recent £30 room service breakfast. This guy's a fucking idiot.
Right then, let's get into the discussion.
I hope you're not embarrassing like this when Mr. Chode's on the podcast.
I won't be. I'll as long as my internet sticks up, we'll be fine. If I disappear, that'll be weird. Posh season is about to get full swing on, if anything. Mr. Chode reference. Thought it'd be a good time to talk. Turn our mind to party food and buffet food. So let's start this off. What, in your opinion, boys? What are the staples of a good buffet table? What do you think are the absolute have-to-haves? Not necessarily what do you prefer, but what do you think if you get up and you go, oh, that's a bit weird, that's not there. What's your absolute have-to-be's theirs?
Sausage rolls.
yeah. You expect to see sausage rolls. I also expect to see small pork pies cut in half.
Cut in half, of course. That makes them somehow better.
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
What, the chopping in half of the small pork pie?
I wouldn't necessarily expect to see a pork pie.
Well, maybe that might be a north-south thing.
I would say I don't see it all the time, but I do see it enough that I would consider it a, certainly on the fringes.
Yeah.
Of being an absolute must. Obviously, the aforementioned crudites.
Yeah.
They fill a space, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Does anyone really want them there, or is it just a case of we've got a spot of tablecloth that's showing? Let's put some cucumber down.
They're good for kids.
What is that? Is that going to be accompanied by a dip? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, a dip in sales.
Oh, sorry, what? Sales of what?
Buffets.
I'd like to buy a buffet, please.
Nah, yeah. To be fair, you usually do see them with one of... You'd see one of those quad dips next to it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Your garlic and herb, your Thousand Island,
Pink dip.
cheese and herb,
Orange dip. White dip. White dip with green bits. White dip with lumps.
oh, sour cream and chives. That's the one.
Yeah. Green, orange, white.
Yeah. Correct. Green.
What a combination.
Green in one of those. Would you usually get the
chives?
No, the guac. I'm assuming he's referring to the guacamole.
Yeah,
No,
I think so. I don't dip, so...
No,
I thought he was assuming or referencing the chives in the sour cream and chives, maybe.
I mean, we could ask him, couldn't we?
No, because he'll probably say something inappropriate or distracting.
Yeah.
Correct.
What else? Sandwiches, obviously, of varying. What's the absolute sort of what sandwiches do we tend to see though? A bit ham salad,
a ham sandwich, a cheese sandwich, a ham and cheese sandwich.
Probably
Tuna.
be seeing a cucumber sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
On a buffet?
Probably see that. I'd probably see it there. Yeah.
Stuart's favourite egg mayo. That's a popular attendant.
Disgusting filth.
The egg's always going to be there, isn't it?
That's about it. Maybe a smoked salmon sandwich.
Oh, yeah, on a premium buffet.
Yeah.
Well,
The ones I'm going to, boy.
Depends.
like I've said, I've got money to burn, mate.
You might often see a different meat. You might see a roast beef, might you? Like a very thinly sliced, poor quality roast beef. You can probably tell that I'm not a fan of a buffet sandwich at all. I pay very little attention to them. Vile little things.
The one thing I find interesting about buffet sandwiches is how quickly they dry out.
Oh,
like
curly.
compared to any other food in the world, like it literally just it rots as you're sort of picking it up.
Yeah,
it's a bizarre piece of food.
Horrible, curly, dry toenail things.
Yeah, crisps, obviously of some sort.
And perhaps another type of savoury snack. So either a tortilla chip or a
breadstick.
Yeah, or breadsticks. That's a good shout.
Please. Oh, what's going on here? Please allow me to be real. Please allow me to be. Please allow me to be real for once. Look, my wife is creeping into shot, taking some sort of chocolate bar with her. Allow me to be real for 1 second, please. I do not want to see a bowl of crisps of indetermined
flavour,
undetermined flavour.
What if it's cheese and onion?
Correct. Put a fucking label on it, or oh my god, you could even leave the packet just floating around somewhere. Just lightly wedge the packet underneath the bowl, for cripe's sake. Especially as someone who really my pool of preferred crisps is quite small. I mean, quite honestly, I will never have crisps at a buffet, because even if it could be a situation if Claire picks one up, eats it. Oh yeah, don't worry, it's ready salted. How do I know it's not ready salted mixed in with another flavour? Which is fucking stupid.
How many crisps? Okay, so imagine a large bowl, that's perhaps had one. Assume it needs to have space for 2 large bags of crisps to have been emptied into it. Or if it's clearly only got space for 1 bag, you're probably safe. It needs to have space for 2. How many crisps from that bowl do you need your wife to eat before you would be fairly satisfied that it's just a single flavour?
51%.
Really? You would make your wife. You would make your wife eat 51% of a bowl of crisps to discern the flavour.
Hypothetical.
Yeah, 51% of crisps that she's paid for 50% of.
Is she allowed to choose which crisps, or do you have to sort of stand over her and just go, that one, that one
I'm
next?
sure there'd be some sort of independent adjudication.
Did she drag a third person into this nightmare scenario? I'm really sorry. I'm a little bit of a man child, and I can't just eat a fucking crisp without the fear of being, having salt and vinegar. Do you mind just watching me and my wife as she just eats 51% exactly of this bowl of crisps?
If
They could
only,
count them out, couldn't they?
if only we were all going to be attending some kind of social gathering where there may or may not be a buffet situation coming up,
Wow.
and a video could be made.
This is amazing.
Michael-
This wedding's going to be amazing.
Michael Jameson forces his wife to eat 51% of a bowl of crisps, whilst a group of men stand around braying and filming. Eat the crisps.
I feel like there's a Bukkake reference here, but
I'm talking about Michael's wife. Oh my God!
Christ,
Good
no,
job she's left the room.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too far.
Bukkake.
It's people who put Pringles on a plate. What are you doing? Pringles already in the perfect vehicle, the tube.
But you can't take the whole fucking tube with you, can you?
No, but like on a buffet, when the person organising the buffet, just leave it on the tube. Oh, it's going to ruin how it all looks, how it's all beige and on white plates. Oh, fuck off with your beige and white.
And also, even if it is in the tube, how do you know that they're all the flavour that the tube says? Do you have to eat 51% of them as well?
At least Pringles are fairly well coloured.
Are they?
Somewhat.
You can tell, like a barbecue Pringle, you can tell, can't you?
Tell a barbecue, they're bright orange. You can tell a flame grilled.
This is
The others, maybe not.
This is really segued into the crisp identification podcast. Crisps Unwrapped. Okay, so that's our staples. I'm sure there's many
Chicken legs.
Oh yeah, chicken legs, chicken nuggets, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd expect a cold sort of breaded chicken situation. Oh, tempura
Pizza
prawns.
bites.
Pizza bites, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Pizza bites now, are they?
Yeah, pizza bites.
A tempura prawn these days. They've become very affordable.
Yeah.
They're problematic, though. Any kind of seafood's problematic on a buffet, isn't it?
Go on.
You're just leaving. You're only leaving yourself an ambient life of about an hour, aren't you? The you.
Oh, the tempura prawns aren't going to be around for that long. I wouldn't have thought. Be one of the first to go, surely.
I don't know.
Some people don't like seafood.
Samosas are getting popular.
I mean, once we get onto things that I prefer to find, there are certain characteristics in a food that make a buffet more palatable to me, and a samosa fits within the Venn diagram of acceptability for me.
Go on.
Well, you've got my Venn diagram of buffet acceptability is on one side you've got foods that Stuart likes. And on the other side, you've got foods that you could feasibly find on a buffet, and those two circles converge onto a small area of perhaps 12 foodstuffs in the middle.
I like that we had to explain what a Venn diagram was in this podcast.
Informative.
Yeah. All right, let's segue into that. What away from the staples, what items are you looking for? What items do you love seeing? That maybe are not necessarily always as maybe not as common as some of the other things.
Any hot element to a buffet will pique my interest.
I was about to say hot chicken goujons.
I'll be up like the Space Shuttle Challenger before. Was that the one that blew up? I didn't mean that.
Well,
Apollo.
It's quite hot.
Apollo 11. 30, a rocket. I'll be up like a rocket.
Genericus. Yeah, the hot buffet trumps all. You like when you hear there's hot food, or you find out before there's hot food, you're like, oh, okay, we've got ourselves.
Yeah, it's
I can actually eat well here.
What did we have for the evening? Wasn't it hot? Didn't we have things like potato wedges and stuff for your evening buffet? Was that not a hot buffet?
I can't remember. It was nice. It was good food.
It was. I can't remember because I was a little bit drunk.
I don't know if I remember eating in the buffet food at yours.
Because you were a little bit drunk.
I was not. No,
weren't you?
Well, I was drunk. I was drunk on fun.
There is a video where I bang into your arm and you nearly tipped the plate of buffet food onto you. There was chicken satay skewers.
Yes, there were.
Oh, yes. And now I remember where the table was as well.
I'm sure there were potato wedges and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, there were.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm going to ask Claire. I can't for the life of me remember if it was hot or not.
I've gone 180 on this, and I now remember that I loved the buffet at your wedding. Actually,
yeah,
I can't remember exactly what I had, but I do remember actually thinking that was some good buffet food, which we might come on to later. Any other items?
Yeah, so for me, it's hot things, and then things that you might describe as an ethnic snack. So I very much enjoy, for example, maybe a pakora, a samosa, a bhaji, something nice, tasty, and with a bit of spice. A breaded chicken kind of thing.
Yeah.
Much prefer over a chicken drumstick. I'm not getting a chicken drumstick. But yeah, and if it's got potato wedges on it, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm loving
MJ.
it.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
He's too busy texting his wife, telling her what you said before.
All right, I'll go on then.
Was our wedding buffet hot?
It was lit.
Well, while you wait for the answer, something that I've seen recently at one or two places, halloumi fries.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen halloumi fries on a buffet?
Yep. Yeah, in one place in particular, admittedly, and I've seen it there 2 or 3 times, so it's obviously something they do on the regs. And they go, oh, you think tempura prawns fucking go quick, mate? You wait till there's big old fucking fat chunks of halloumi out there deep fried. They go like hot cakes or hot halloumi bites in this case.
Halloumi bites.
Fries. Sorry, I've written down bites for some reason, but halloumi fries.
Mini halloumi.
Mini halloumis. Also, sandwiches. No. Bagels. Yes.
Oh.
I do enjoy when I see a buffet and they've upgraded the bread to a bagel, because bagel is, if not my favourite, one of my favourite breads in the entire world. That's probably the Jewish person in me, because
I love a bagel.
Yep, bagels are great,
and it's not really their fault, but they've got a hole in it.
Wife has confirmed wedding buffet was hot.
Yeah, thought it was.
Was it lit?
I cannot confirm on the virus nature.
Virus. Better text her again then.
What about fibrous? I can't really think of anything else that you haven't mentioned. Yeah, I love seeing like a samosa, especially when they're properly, like, you can tell that they're like homemade or something, rather than being just, out of someone's freezer, Costco's freezer.
Yeah.
Any of those sort of bites.
The Costco buffets, they're great, aren't they?
Don't know.
What do you mean, Costco buffets?
Well, I mean, when you know that the host has gone to Costco, you're like, oh, fucking game on.
Yeah, but even so, like, I still think we'd prefer something homemade. In some scenarios, like I just said, like a samosa, for example. Oh, if you get somebody that's made that fresh.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, God tier,
yeah. But if you're talking about just mass-produced stuff, yeah, Costco, king of the buffet table.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael? Are there any other party foods that you like seeing?
You sometimes see things with sesame seeds on. So sometimes, have you ever seen honey sausages with sesame seeds on? Yeah, little cocktail sausages coated in honey with sesame seeds on. They're nice.
Yes.
Chicken skewers. Anything on a skewer really is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they're easy. I sort of feel a certain amount of shame though, because I'm always the one that's got sort of 15 wooden sticks on my plate at the end.
It is like a little sort of badge of shame almost.
The good thing that I find with a buffet though is it rarely all goes, so you can be the person that goes up 5, 6, 7 times.
That again perfectly segues onto my next point. You know, what are our feelings on people returning to the buffet table? Because I know some people frown upon it, that it should be a one and done.
No. Rude to the staff, if anything. I think the question comes in as you have to leave a big enough gap that everyone who, let's say the food comes out, I will be one of the first to go up. Absolutely, I will be in that first sort of couple minutes. I'll then sit down, consume it. I will leave a courtesy gap of about probably 5 to 7 minutes before going up again. I feel that gives all of the people who are actually hungry or eager to go up, I think it gives them adequate time to go up and join the queue. If they haven't gone up in that time and they still want food, frankly, they're not as hungry as me, or they're just not as passionate about it. So I will be happy to go up in front of them and then maybe use up all of the hot food, and it means they don't get any.
You are a prick. What I am often to be found sitting there biding my time because I'm not standing in a queue. I am not. Yeah, this man does not stand in queues. Peasants standing in a line waiting for food. It's like something out of communist Russia in the 1980s. I am too good to do that. And if you're getting up for seconds before I've been up to just have my VIP walkthrough, then you are getting Bully's special prize, great big shoulder to the head.
I mean, I'm fine with that based on everything you've said in the past minute.
Just on your point there, Michael, that you're like one of the first up. How do you deal with that scenario when you get to the table? Even though it's been announced, the DJ's shouted out and said, the buffet table's now open. You get up there.
Do it in a DJ voice, Nate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the buffet table is now open.
Hashtags, retweets, likes, comments, follows. This isn't any ordinary social media. This is Food Review UK social media. Come find us at facebook.com/Food Review UK, on Twitter @Food Review UK, and on Instagram @FRUKgram. Oh, and don't forget the main channel, Food Review UK on YouTube.
Yeah, and how do you feel when you get up there and maybe there's a tray of food that you want and they still haven't taken the fucking cellophane off?
Oh.
Do you feel guilty about being the guy that opens it up, even though you've been told you can go for it?
I don't explicitly recall that situation. However, I would be absolutely brave enough to take the cellophane off. I'm fine with that. As long as it's very clear that the buffet's open and it's sort of, this is all available now. I'd also like to curtail back to Stuart's point. Let's just do the math quickly. So I'm one of the first to go up. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm always a first. So let's say I'm joining a 1 minute to 90 second queue. I'm going to be taking approximately 1 minute to 90 seconds to pick up my food. So that's 3 minutes. Probably taking 3 to 5 minutes to eat it, so that's 6, plus the 5 to 7 minute courtesy gap that I'll leave. So we are looking anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes that I'm allowing other people to join the queue. And quite frankly, if you're not joining the queue within 15 minutes of the buffet being open, you're clearly not very hungry or inspired by food.
All you've done there is repeat exactly the same rationale that you said before. It almost word for word. Like
15 minutes though. I did the phrase 15 minutes.
My previous response still applies. Here's a question for you.
My previous retort applies, and I'm happy to go in front of you if you speak like that.
Oh, just you wait, sunshine. Regarding taking the cling film off, right? The uncut dessert
Still talking about the buffet.
The uncut dessert does my head in. Like, it's bad enough taking taking the first slice of for example, the pavlova or whatever. You always feel a bit awkward doing that. But when the gatto is not cut or something, and you're like, I want a piece of that. I'm having some Black Forest gatto. I'm having that, and I'm pleased that it's untouched. There's a part of me that's going fantastic. I'm having the first slice. No one has fettled this cake. I am the first man to experience this cake, but I don't want to slice. I don't want to be slicing that cake. That for me makes me feel uncomfortable.
Is that because you've got people queuing behind you, judging how much you're choosing?
No, it's not even about portion size. It's just about being. I always feel like maybe you're just overstepping the mark. You're jumping the gun a little bit with it. If they wanted you to eat the cake, it would be sliced.
It creates an unnecessary social barrier.
Yeah, it's just a level of neuroses that I don't need in my life. I just need everything. Just needs to be simple. If there's an opportunity for me to overthink something, I'm going to overthink it. And an uncut cake on a buffet is an opportunity to overthink.
The only my only problem with a cake or a gatto on the table is sometimes they're not labelled, and how do I know that they're not salt and vinegar flavoured? So
you have to make your wife eat
51% of the cake before I know. So what is it? Coming back to the point, what is an acceptable time for Michael to go up to the table for a second time, Stuart? Or is there one? Are you against a returnee guest?
It's time taken to eat his first plate of buffet plus X, where X is time taken for Stuart to retrieve his plate of food.
Which is awkward when you're not at the party.
Yeah.
He's got to wait for you to come.
Correct.
Self-service.
I don't have a problem. I've been in many buffet situations where you get to that buffet and the hot food is gone. And sometimes it's not because I've been styling it out, and it's not because I've been hanging around. It's because I've been, for example, busy. I might have been...
What the fuck does that mean? Can't you just say partying, mingling?
Not necessarily partying or mingling. I'm
business at a buffet.
I've been in the position a number of times where I have been working at events where there have been buffets. And in those circumstances, often you do not have an opportunity to get to the buffet first. And then you get to the buffet and you'll find that there are no wedges left. It's a no wedge situation that upsets me.
The good news is, though, wedges are absolutely abysmal food things, and you can live your life without them. Moving on.
Correct. This
is something that came up many weeks ago. Food contamination. Oh. And actually, in fact, Stuart, MJ kind of alluded to it with the whole crisp debacle. Do we find buffet food, party food, just an absolute nightmare for people? Just putting stuff in dips and then dipping it into other things. Kids touching things they shouldn't, spreading their dirty little fucking germs. Yep. Like, how do we feel about this?
And that's why I tend to avoid all the things that are... I avoid any kind of dips. I avoid anything that's a kind of big bowl of something. I love coleslaw. I'm probably not having coleslaw out of a bowl at a buffet. And I tend to go for those things that are hot and they're on a plate with a pair of tongs. A lot of my buffet preferences are germ avoidance choices. It's not even. I'm not even germophobic. I'm just peoplephobic. I don't. Again, it all comes down. A lot of it comes down to ego. I don't want you dirty, filthy peasants touching the things that I am putting in me.
Do you tend to then just pick the food that's at the back of the table, at the back?
If there's an option to pick food that's further away, I'll always go for the more untouched plate.
And definitely going for the potpourri.
And if there's a bowl that's further away, I'll go for that. And I have I have a decent reach. I mean, I'm not Beyonce, and I've got quite a long arm. I goes all the way out and back in again. So
God.
I do like to minimise the opportunity for food contamination, because it is a prime concern with a buffet. And I don't think I'm actually that bad in terms of food neuroses and food quirks, but it's bad enough that it is a thing. Like people, Stuart doesn't like buffets. Like, and I don't think I'm that weird. Surely no one really likes them, but no, there are. I've said this before. These people that just will happily go up and shove all bits of them in all sorts, and then into other things. Disgusting, dirty, trampy heathens.
I feel like there's an answer to your issue and MJ's issue, which is, Stuart, you need to get to the buffet table first.
Yeah.
So then you don't have to worry about MJ going back after you, because you've already had your food, and also it's not been contaminated yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do is we need a campaign that essentially, I mean, it doesn't need to be a law. I mean, it just needs to be one of those unspoken rules, an unwritten rule, that in any buffet situation where I am present, the DJs across the land need to be told there are 2 stages to buffet opening. Stage 1, Stuart time. Stage 2, peasants.
Oh, yeah.
Have you just invented the fast track buffet?
I think I have.
You get a theme park. You pay extra and you get early access. You get to jump the queues.
I think that's what I've done. Here. Yeah. I've invented a VIP fast lane buffet system where people who do you know what? I'm going to come straight out of it. I'm going to appoint myself as king of the buffet. And
even though you don't like them.
Even though I don't like them, I'm going to be king of the buffet. I'm going to rule over the kingdom of buffet with an iron fist. And if I decide someone is worthy of having access to the VIP buffet fast lane, then I will induct them into the order of the fast lane with a kind of knighting ceremony in my back garden.
With a baton of French baguette.
Correct.
Okay,
or a foot-long sausage roll from Morrison's.
I was just a little bit concerned about the I guess if it's sausage roll, it might stand up. Yeah, I'm actually, unless this isn't quite buffet, but it extends from it. I'm slightly apprehensive about eating work colleagues' food that they've made. Unless I'm very friendly with them or I trust them greatly, which is certainly true for some people, then that's absolutely fine. Especially as you can sort of sometimes tell from the presentation anyway. But yeah, I'm apprehensive if I don't know them that well or don't trust them, just because I don't know what sort of weird environment it's been cooked in. There was some chick that used to...
Nice use of language.
Some chick that I used to work with, she was like a clean freak. Like really, really, really badly a clean freak. And she made sort of... Her sausage rolls were like famed as like, oh, you have to try this person's sausage rolls. People went mad for them. But they were... Yeah.
Turns out she used to wash them with bleach.
Well, you could taste the cleaning product in them because she used to put the pastry on the work surface that she'd just cleaned. Because she'd clean at each stage of going along. So, yeah, stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's a similar sort of thing at a buffet. It's the horror stories at a buffet. Can you imagine at the buffet? Not that I do dip, but certainly probably because of one of these reasons, not least because I don't enjoy dips. But when you see, calling back to the white, the orange, the green dip, when you see the green dip with like a swirl of orange in, like a pre-dip, somewhat. Yeah, what is that? What? Yeah, it's just a terrible, terrible situation that no one wants to be in.
Dirty tramps.
Yeah.
I have no issue with this particularly. I don't do it, but because I can abide different flavors, I'm happy to I'm not going to get my knickers in a twist about a minor little bit of Thousand Island in my cheese and herb, whatever it is.
Pete, you're psycho. That's psychotic. Pervert.
Incorrect.
Nathan, first they came for those with food neuroses, and you did not speak out because you did not have food neuroses. then they came for...
Is this War of the Worlds?
No, well, I mean, kind of. If you rearrange the word and take out of the...
Yeah. Then they came for those with contamination phobias, and you did not speak out because you did not have contamination phobias. Then they came... I'm just going to go with the next line of the actual poem. Then they came for the Jews, and finally you opened your mouth. You selfish bastard.
Because I'm Jewish.
Because you're Jewish, correct.
One, yeah. Well, thanks, me then. Going off on a minor tangent, we've obviously concentrated heavily on buffet tables, but are there any other, say, party? Yeah, generally you see it more at weddings, but sort of alternatives to your buffet that stand out. So, for example, the reason I thought of this was one of our friends got married a few years ago, and rather than having in the evening having a buffet table, they had a hog roast.
Yeah,
for example.
Oh.
So that was incredible. I think they probably did have a side table for people that were vegetarian or didn't want a hog roast and had some sort of minor stuff, but that was their main.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
The vegetarian people can't have a bread roll of applesauce in, no?
Well, I'm just suggesting that maybe they didn't want to buy into the hog roast and stand near a dead pig that was being carved in front of them.
My understanding is if you're a vegetarian, you just eat the crackling, don't you? Because it's not meat. If anything, they're getting the better deal because that's one of the best bits.
This is true. It's not technically flesh, I guess.
No.
Yeah. So have you come across any, or is there any that you would like to see? Because I know there's other examples out there that
the bacon butties situation is always a winner, is it? That's great at a wedding evening. When they go, it's not going to be a buffet. It's going to be bacon butties and wedges, Nathan, or a hog roast or something along those lines, or the the pie and pea supper. Does that reach down as far as you two?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's like a big
more
or
pie,
something.
Pie and mash, maybe.
What?
Pie and mash.
I understand the concept of pie and mash. It's that
mash and pie.
Dirty cockney filth that you cover in weird green spotty white stuff. Sour cream and chive dip or watered down. Surely not as an evening like a buffet situation.
Were you just besmirching
the guy...
mashed potato?
I was besmirching liquor.
Oh right, okay. Oh, I don't know. I've never had it. I've never seen it. So
right.
I'm just suggesting that pie and mash is a thing down here, and it's something that I've heard of at weddings, but not pie and peas.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like peas, but still.
What? Sorry, did you say pie and peas?
Yeah.
What? Pie ministers of parliament?
Yeah, pie, not pie MPs, pie and peas.
Fucking dickhead. Even though I know that was all forced, it's still you dickhead. The other one, fish and chips, I've often heard of.
Yeah.
Would love to go to a wedding. Yeah. I'd love to go to a bloody wedding that had a fish and chip stall in the evening.
I went to a wedding where the kids were given fish and chips, little cones of fish and chips as a canapé, and the adults had to have proper canapés, and the kids are walking around with some really quite delicious kind of hand-cut looking fish goujons and chips while I'm munching on a bruschetta.
Kids can get in the sea.
I am livid now. That's the second time I've heard of a situation like that this week. And the first one, I fucking experienced it. I was fortunate enough to go to a screening of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It was like a family screening, so they had lots of it was like an early screening, so for like press and family. So there was loads of pastries and face painting and activities and whatnot, and like photo things. And there was this bloke that walked past me with a tray of Spider-Man face cookies. And obviously I immediately thought, well, A, certainly I'm going to try one. B, I'll try and even take one home. C, I'm certainly going to get an Instagram. This is going to be a great Instagram post. I actually had to run after him. I was saying to him, Cookie Man, Cookie Man. He eventually stopped, and he was going at quite a fair lick. Reasonable pace, certainly. I finally stopped him. I said, Cookie Man, can I have a cookie, please? And he said, no, it's for the children only. Sorry? Do the children own the UK's #1 food review channel on YouTube?
No, they don't, Michael. You do.
Well, it's just fucking ridiculous. Oh, yeah, cookies are only for children. Oh, yes, I forgot that flour and butter and sugar.
Don't forget
and
a pinch of salt.
Correct. So sea salt flakes. And the chemical reaction that combines them through the process of science. Oh, I forgot that was for children only. I should have tipped his tray up and grabbed a load of the cookies and thrown them at the children.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Good story that. How do you feel about desserts and sweet food on the table? No. Yeah. Sort of coming full circle almost. What do you want to see there when you go up? What's the sort of dessert sitch for you?
I prefer an individual dessert. For example, a delicious looking cupcake.
Yeah, obvious one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you sometimes see like the mini eclairs and things like that.
You
little
do.
sort of pastries. Yeah. Again, you are running a little bit of risk with the old fresh cream in there.
Well, they don't last very long though, do they? They're a bit like wasabi prawns or whatever, tempura prawns.
Yeah. Wasabi prawns. Fucking hell. Blow your socks off.
This is very relevant to last week. I was in Disneyland and we went to a buffet restaurant.
I went to a screening of an exclusive film. Last week I was in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I've had a good week to be
Ever
fair.
heard of Channel 5? Look at me, Michael Jameson, the life of Michael Jameson. Sorry, you were saying.
I was talking about my wonderful life. Yes, and they had some lovely desserts, I have to say. So I've pulled up the photo that's on our Instagram at FRUK, give it a follow. They had some whole desserts that were sliced up. So they had apple pie, I got a slice of that. They had a big custard tart, I got a slice of that. They had a big bowl of creme anglaise to pour over it, so I poured that over it. Then I tried a mini choux pastry, a mini pecan pie tartlet, a cookie, but chiefly among them, and I think most suitable to the buffet situation, are these small, tiny little plastic containers of various sort of easy to consume desserts. They had strawberry jelly, very nice. Very fruity, tasted very fresh. They had mini salted caramel creme caramels, bloody delicious, probably the best thing there. And they had mini panna cottas, and all three of them were absolutely delightful. They were very light, so it didn't feel heavy like the other products. And whilst the apple pie was of particular note, along with the creme anglaise, I have to say I enjoyed those three miniaturized pots of sort of semi-liquid desserts to the greatest extent, and it was really a very nice thing. It's just a shame that at that point of the meal, because I had sort of 7 other desserts on that plate, I was pretty full. Otherwise, I would have got maybe 3 of each of those.
That does sound delightful. I'm just trying to kind of visualise that whole dessert selection. I've just got one question that will help me to visualise it a little bit clearer. You know the miniature choux pastries? Were they like a formal shoe or a casual trainer?
Pie MPs.
Oh.
Isn't it? Shoe pastry.
Spelled
Shoe
differently,
reference.
isn't it? That's the joke, isn't it? Yeah.
Next time I make a sausage roll, I'm going to make one that looks like a shoe. I'm going to call it shoe pastry.
That's good. Yeah.
Why a sausage roll?
Because they're quite easy to make, and I'm probably going to make some soon.
Fair enough. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyone else got anything to add on this?
I don't really like buffets.
No, I think we've established that, man.
Yeah.
What is it you don't like? Is it just the sharing with other people?
Yeah.
Is it literally just
Yeah,
that?
it's the sharing with other people. Yeah.
Oh, fairs.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
think I like them, but it's difficult. It's difficult to deny that I'd say probably 80% are fairly disappointing.
Yeah.
But when you get the 20% with the hot food, with the Costco cake, or you're at a decent wedding,
Oh God, Costco cake.
I love Costco cake.
Jesus.
I will say the place I was referring to that the place I was referring to that had the halloumi fries. Whilst that is amazing, and actually a lot of the other food is amazing, what is disappointing is that they give you basically sauces to put your food on. So you are literally limited to like the tiniest fucking meal unless you want to go up. And actually they give tiny portions that it runs out. And also they bring the food out at different times. So literally you go up there and you go, oh, this is nice. I'll have these halloumi fries and this sandwich and these chips. And then you hear somebody go, oh, this pizza's nice. Pizza? No fucking pizza up there when I went. So they're actually a fucking shambles, even though they do good food.
Yeah, that's problematic. They're bringing things out at different times. That should not happen.
Yeah, awful situation.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all I've got.
In order to grow the Food Review UK podcast, we'd like to ask all our listeners and subscribers to drop us a review on their chosen podcast application. With your help, we could grow the podcast to such an extent that we had no need for the Food Review UK YouTube channel and its owner, Michael Jameson. There is a little favour that we'd like to ask of you. Just head on over to iTunes and leave us a positive review. 1,000 5-star reviews and MJ dies! Hurrah!
Michael Jameson, talk to me about social media.
Sock man.
Well, it's absolutely relevant.
Fire.
To talk about that. Yeah, there's actually some drama kicking off in the Jameson household right now.
Wow.
Let's see what we've got. So I'll go in order. Luckily, it's one of the first comments. I can explain what's happening. First comment is from the Laminator.
Laminator.
He's up.
Philip Lam.
He's up now. Nate's on the diet. How's the diet going, Nate?
Pretty well. I've lost 9.5 kilos in 6 weeks.
Well done.
Legend, mate.
For people in England who don't understand what kilos are, that's 20.9 pounds. So basically a stone and a half.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Then Maddie Mad World has said, I love MJ, and she's put an emoji with the hearts in the eyes and then an emoji blowing a kiss. I assume that's directed at me. This has become apparent because my wife has sent me a message with a screenshot of that comment and then apologising for not being... She said, I'm sorry I'm not 23 and single.
Oh!
But... married her, so shouldn't feel. Yeah, Maddie, I'm afraid I'm off the table. Very much appreciate the emojis and the kind sentiments, but
how old was Claire when you met her?
16.
So she's never been 23 and single.
No, correct.
I mean, she's been 23. Obviously, that would be weird if she skipped that entire year.
She's definitely not been single.
There you go.
Zedwoods 82. Now, this chick is the owner of...
God.
There's nothing wrong with saying chick. It's fine.
Apart from everything.
Ask her if she can twerk.
Oh.
I got flack
relevant.
on Facebook. I got flack on Facebook once for saying chick, but I think it's absolutely fine.
I mean, does it matter what if people tell you that it's not acceptable to say it?
Say why it's not acceptable.
Because it's demeaning and misogynistic. It's the 21st century, man. Grow up.
It's not.
God forbid you ever have a daughter.
I'll call her a chick.
Call her a bit of fluff.
Sorry, if I'm going to call bros, my bras, my dudes.
Not the same
why
thing.
can't I call chick
Not
a chick?
not the same thing.
Call her sister then.
Yeah.
My
We're
dogs.
brothers.
What about if I'm calling them dogs? I call my dogs my dogs.
That's fine.
Oh,
Are you,
brilliant.
so who are your dogs?
You guys? You guys are my dogs.
You've literally never called us dogs.
Mate, I'm going to start calling you dogs.
My
It's fine
dogs.
to call a woman a chick. It's not offensive, I'm sorry, but it's not.
The dogs are fun.
Insta
So this chick-
poll.
Should MJ start using dogs?
Should MJ
This
stop calling
chick-
women chicks?
She owns an Instagram called something like Food Taylor UK or something. But this is her personal account. So Edwards82, she says, so I'm thinking mini quiches, is the pastry to filling ratio all wrong?
Correct. All pastry, no egg. Is the preferred way.
I would argue no pastry, no egg. Quiche is literally just
Minging.
It's just a. What is the point of quiche? It's a cold. It's a cold item that can't quite work out if it wants to be a pie or pizza.
Well, this really is the perfect week for this episode. I tried quiche for the first time last week.
Oh wow! Did you review it on camera? What were your thoughts then?
It was a mozzarella and sun-dried tomato quiche. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of sun-dried tomatoes. I find the flavour slightly too intense.
God,
it
Jesus
was...
Christ. What a wet wipe. What a wet wipe.
Man who runs biggest food reviewing channel in the country can't handle sun-dried tomatoes.
It was okay. It was okay. I didn't
Too intense. It's sun-dried tomato. I find that most antipasti is just too intense for my delicate taste buds. I can't.
Claire, can you try these crisps? I don't know what they are.
I'm scared they might be sun-dried tomato flavour, Claire.
Michael, they're salt and vinegar.
Eat 51% of them, Claire.
I wouldn't actually eat crisps that were in the same bowl with salt and vinegar due to potential cross-contamination. Cross-contamination.
Continue.
Tinned mini hot dogs for hot dogs on sticks. Are they wrong or right?
So I didn't even hear the question.
What are we talking? What's happening?
Prove me wrong.
Tinned mini
hot dogs for hot dogs on sticks. Prove me wrong.
What is happening?
No, sorry, I'm doing the meme. Change my mind. Tinned mini hot dogs for hot dogs on sticks. Change my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Will eat. Won't be proud of it.
Oh.
Fine. Yeah, fine. Finn Rogers says, how many spring rolls can MJ fit up his nose? It depends, because you can sometimes get those really wide ones, can't you? But if they're just the sort of smaller ones, I reckon I can get one up each.
Hey, one up each nose.
Well, I look forward to that Instagram post.
Well, they've got two ends, haven't they?
It's not really their fault.
Zedwards82 again. Should whole desserts be on the table like a trifle and gatto from Iceland, or should it just be mini desserts?
I think we pretty much kind of
Yeah, I
answered
think we
that.
covered that.
Trifle, no. Trifle, that
No.
you are. I mean, gatto, at least there's some semblance of logic behind how you separate that out. Trifle, you're asking for fucking trouble.
Chaos, wouldn't it be? Can you imagine? My
Oh,
God.
someone comes along. Oh, I don't really like the cream. I'll just take the custard. Oh, what are you fucking doing, mate?
Or a kid sticking their whole hand in there.
Oh.
Trifle, keep that away from my buffet.
Pickled onions on the table, yes or no?
No.
Put them in a bowl.
Oh.
Put them in a bowl.
Just dotted
Change my
around.
mind. Pickled onions should go in a bowl. Change my mind.
It's like apple bobbing at Halloween, a really shit version. Just a jar of pickled onions.
Clear. Can you try these?
I think the flavour's a bit too intense for me.
Apples are a bit small.
I understand the accent. It's not. Bowl of salad, a waste of time on.
Waste of time. Get it away.
I often pick up a bit of the salad only because I feel like people should. Like, I feel like if I don't have salad on my plate, I'm going to get judged.
It's the weight of expectation.
Yeah.
The weight of expectations is
Way forward.
Zedford's82 has gone crazy on this one.
Yeah.
Crisps in bowls, which flavours are acceptable? Plain.
All.
Tilted.
All.
No. No. Or label it. But even then, no. I don't trust it.
Salt and vinegar.
Nuts on the table or harbingers or... Nuts on the table or harbingers of urine traces. I vaguely understand what's going on. Harbingers.
I tend to not put mine on the table just because I think if you're someone who makes such a fuss about food contamination, for you to just run your testes along the edge of the buffet as you're filling your plate, it's sending out mixed signals. And they are definitely harbingers of urine contamination.
You can't just stop moving in the buffet line. And then that creates a situation where you're pulling your testicles along, and that creates a situation where you might be dragging the tablecloth off. Stuart's just had to spit out his drink in his glass. Brilliant.
Oh dear.
Egg mayo, love or hate?
Hate.
You've missed one, haven't you? Cold pizza.
Cold pizza. Yeah, I'm actually changing the order for comedic effect, mate.
All right, egg mayo, love or hate? Love.
Cold pizza slices, yes or no? I personally don't really like cold pizza that much.
I prefer pizza bites.
Yes. Yes.
But...
Not fussed.
Cheese board, unnecessary or a goddamn must?
Not part of a buffet.
You often see it though.
You shouldn't.
I'm not fussed. I just like that. I like that breadsticks. Question mark.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Certainly, if there's a dip.
Well, it's weird though because, like I say, we're not fussed about. We don't want dips, but we're happy to have a breadstick.
That's right. Yeah, I'll have a breadstick if there. To be fair.
Correct.
Buscaglio says the best dip on the buffet table. Sort of think we come. Yeah, you love a bit of hummus, don't you? Oleszczynski says, to say I'm positively foaming for your dismal organisation error on the previous podcast is a gross understatement. What? You have discarded the bond we collectively shared and demolished my number one dream to have Chode read my question. It's a shambles to say the least.
I don't really know what he's going on about. We haven't had Chode on the show. He comes on in January. I've got no idea what this is about.
I'm not certain. It might be something to do with the fact that when I put the post up on Instagram, I put it as episode number 32. Now, this episode is episode 32. But what Oleszczynski doesn't know is that they commented on the previous episode after we recorded it. But I don't know how they know that they did it after we recorded it. Because I don't think we said anywhere.
Yes, I did. I told them.
Oh, fine. Well, that explains that then.
Yeah.
Rare Bear says, cheese and pineapple, does it really need to be a thing?
I like it. It's very old-fashioned, but I enjoy a bit of cheese and pineapple.
I personally wouldn't eat it, but that's only because blocks of cheese freak me out.
Claire, can you take this? Someone's put out a grapefruit, covered it in tin foil, and stuck some cocktail sticks with blocks of cheese. Claire, I'm scared.
Someone do an impression of me where there's like the cheese on cocktail sticks, but it's got a sun-dried tomato on there as well.
No.
We're not performing monkeys, mate.
Correct.
Claire, can you shred this cheese, please? I can't handle too much at a time. I can't even just bite it off.
I find it's intimidating. It's too
cheesy.
Oh, Claire.
I don't understand this accent. Olish Plinsky also says, where the fucking fuck has Nate's sound bites gone?
Yeah, Nate.
Hashtag shambles, hashtag fuck FRUK, hashtag for the people.
They will be back in 2019.
Wow. Shelby X has said, Brie and barbecue brisket is a good duo. Do you prefer hot or cold food? Well, I think we've covered that.
Hot.
And Soufs has said, should buffet food be only 1 or 2 bites max? If it's more than that, just ain't buffet food or nah. And cold pizza is just no, but every bloody buffet has it.
I think that's a point, actually. Once things start getting to be more than 1 or 2 bites, is it really a buffet anymore? When we're in one of those bacon butty situations, or a hog roast, that's not really a buffet. That's a meal that you queue for.
I'd say that's true. I'd also say I love chicken goujons, but I'd say they're at least 3 bites.
Really?
Claire, handle too big a goujons.
Claire, my goujons are too big. I can't eat them in 2. Claire, could you just bite the ends off for me so that I can... Claire, can you feed me like a mother bird feeds its... Claire, will you pre-chew my goujons and spit them into my mouth?
If nothing else, this episode is just giving us the most amazing MJ character.
Well, it's bullying in a many way.
in a many way.
Claire, Nathan and Stuart have been picking on me. They keep saying that I moan all the time and I run to you with all my problems.
There's one more comment on Instagram, which is from Zedwards82. They're just saying, reply to the Soufs about the cold pizza, saying it's always the first to go. Allow me to just carefully check Facebook to see if we got any on there. Did we have any on there? I sort of didn't see.
I don't think so. There was obviously that message from Eric, which I can find for you if you wish.
Yes, please.
And then
I'd insist upon it.
I can do my own social media question. Although it wasn't too much of a question, and also I don't really understand it. He said, Eric King, said buffet party foods, crock pot meatballs simmering in a mixture of barbecue sauce and grape jelly, lazy, gross, or brilliant.
I mean that sounds fantastic.
I've never seen it.
No, I think that once you get to a situation where you've got those, like a great big slow cooked chili or similar thing, I think you're stepping away from the traditional buffet into a better form of party food. That's where you go to a party, and what they've done is they've done a great big pan of chili, a great big pan of veggie chili, load of rice, garlic bread. They've got some nachos, all that kind of stuff, and you're eating standing up. That's the only thing it's got in common. You serve yourself and you eat standing up. But it's not really a buffet, is it?
Nah.
I don't know what
it's better.
I don't know what the specified conditions are to make it a buffet. It certainly isn't party food, but whether it still comes under buffet, I don't know. I don't know what buffet means, whether it just means serve yourself or whether it means, one or 2 bites.
I think it has to be a combination of serving yourself and bite-sized.
But I'm certainly with you. I do sort of see that there is a slight distinction between the two because it's sorry, just complete tangent to the show. Man City conceded in the 85th minute.
Yep, correct.
That's tickled me.
Brilliant. And I bet Laporte was on like a fucking 100% record before then. Probably.
I don't believe Laporte has played tonight, Michael.
Yeah, he has played, so I'm getting 2 points for my captainship of him.
Has he?
Captainship.
He came on as a sub in the 89th minute, so you're only getting 1 point, mate.
Yeah, but I've captained him.
All right,
so you get 2 points.
Yeah, well done.
I think that's it then. that's it for social media. That's it for our show, I believe. I don't think anybody got anything else they want to share before we disappear into the night.
Claire, I've put Emerick Laporte as my captain on fantasy football, and he's failed to make an impact against a side that Man City should really have been doing serious damage to. Claire, will you take over managing my fantasy football team? I can't do it anymore.
Well, with that beautiful tone of voice, that is our show. Thank you very much for listening. I don't know if you've enjoyed it as much as we have, but I think certainly Stuart and I have had a fucking cracking time. I'm not so sure about Michael. But thank you very much for joining us. As I say, this is our penultimate show of the year. We have one more show in 2 weeks' time with David Goss as guest, which is the aforementioned, advertised Christmas Cracker episode. Just a reminder.
Get your comment. Email.
Yep. frukcast@gmail.com, or look out on social medias for the post, which will be coming up soon. We would love all of your questions, even though you seem to not want to give them to us. Thank you for listening. Thank you, boys, for joining me.
Thank you, Nathan.
Michael,
He's frozen.
Okay. Well, I don't know whether he's there or not, because he's been upset by the impersonations of him. But if he is there, then I love you, Michael, and please don't take it personally. If you're not there, go fuck yourself. Good night.
Bye.